Hello everyone. Um, so yeah, welcome to the new progress update. Last time we just talked about development, and now I have worked a little bit about the story, and I want to say what I have got so far. I'm a little bit stuck, so I really want to talk about this. So last time I said I'm going the setting, then story, then mechanics approach. So we already got the setting. As you can see from this document over here that I got, we've got the setting already done, which is a world with the human extinct and there's conscious potatoes on a floating land, or floating mysterious land. And these potatoes are rotting as well. So this is our setting, and I believe it is a good setting. It's not exactly the most catching. I know I'm not sure if it's really catching, but I think it's good enough for me. So before I wrote the story, I needed to understand some story structure because I'm really a terrible writer. And a friend on Discord, they sent me some resources, and one of them was this, The Secrets of Story Structure by K.M. Wayland. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And yeah, they they talk a lot. They talk a lot about story structure in this article. They go through all the acts, like every single detail that, like the main elements of a story for it to be successful and like catch the attention of the reader, like leave them satisfied with the story. And yeah, so if we go through these real quickly, you got the hook uh, at the beginning of the story, then the first act, then the first plot point, inciting event, first half of the second act, midpoint, second half of the second act, the third act, the climax, the resolution. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the story structure. I can click on all of these and go into details, but that's not what the video about. So yeah, I understood these, and there was these nice little screenshots, not like screenshot summaries, of how it all looks on a timeline. So I took them and put them all inside this board. We got the first act, then the second act, and then the third act. Now, as I was reading the article, I started coming up with ideas, at the top of my head. And for the hook, I came up with this, which is basically you're a potato. So the first thing that happens is you get born inside of a cave, and you're attached to some roots, and you cut off these roots so you be free to walk around. And the cave has some enemies like that are like made out of rocks and mud, and you gotta fight these rocky beings to get out of the cave to get to the surface. And as you are in the cave, you found another potato that needs your help, so you save him, and both of you make it out of the cave after a boss fight at the cave entrance or exit point. So this is a hook that I think is pretty solid, but I'm not sure. So I'm not sure yet. I'll tell you why in a second. So yeah, after the hook, we got the first plot point, which is when you get up to the surface, you meet another potato that is substantially larger than you and is plunged into the ground, and its roots are going into the ground. And this potato is the one that like gave birth to you, like you were inside of its roots, like you were part of its roots. Like, yeah, so like they're basically your parents. And they tell you the story like the land is dying, and an elder potato is calling every single potato on the land. The elder potato is like a humongous potato that is like gonna be visible in the distance in the background of the game, so you can see it. how big it is, and it sort of gives you like the objective to go over there. But yeah, these were our what is I this is what I came up with on the fly. But I didn't really feel it doesn't really feel it feels really rough working with this. I don't feel comfortable working with this because I don't have a plan. Just as I'm making a game, I did not have a plan for the story. I'm just brute forcing my way through the story, and it's not really exactly working out. Because first of all, I do not have an objective. The character does not have an incentive to go to the Elder Potato and whatnot. So I stopped right over here instead of continuing like this, and I started doing some research and some thinking, and I came up with some pillars of the story. Like, what is the goal from me telling this story? Like, what do I want what do I want the player to understand from this story? And I did have this goal in mind, like for a long time, and I did not know how to tell it. But what the goal is pretty much. Hopefully, this is not cringy, but like seeing the beauty in like the little tiny things. Like for example, let me get something. For example, if we get this controller right over here, like you see the design of the controller, like the buttons, like the effort that it was put into this. Even the most mundane things, like I don't know, this alcohol bottle and like the cap of it. I don't know. There's something that makes me satisfied when I think about these little things, these little tiny things. Like for example, like a bee when it goes to inside of a, I don't know, like I completely forgot the word, like not harvest, but when it goes inside of the flower and like do weird things with the flower. I don't know. I really find these tiny things to be really beautiful, I guess. And I really want more people to appreciate these things instead of taking them for granted. Like somebody took the effort to make the design of this bottle, for example. I don't know. It may be stupid, but I feel like it's a some people will get what I mean with this. But yeah, and I also had some sub goals. These are more cliche, if you could say. Like suffering and working hard is part of the process of making any project. This is a sub. I did not want it to be a main goal, so I made a sub goal. Maybe I could tell it like in a side quest or something. And making the most of what you have, like do what you can, and there's always time to do something. Appreciating what you have. There's no point in making it. This is about the meme, by the way. Like, there's no point in making enemies. But yeah, these are sub goals. I had them as sub goals because they're a bit cliche and I mean, it's pretty obvious. But this one is special to me, and it's a bit of private thing to talk about. But I don't want to talk about it. But this is special to me, and I'm not sure how I started seeing things like this, but that's what I'm trying to figure out in this story. So yeah, um, I think this video is getting too long, by the way. Oh, we got a couple minutes more. So yeah, I don't know how I want the player to like want to do this goal, like to achieve this goal, like to understand this, like our main protagonist. So I went to other games, understand how did they do it, like how did they achieve their goal, like how did they show their point. So I went to Celeste because I really love this game and it's a big inspiration. And the point in Celeste is I assume is like overcoming depression and realizing your goals, like pushing through and all that. And to help realize that goal, like there was some other factors, like there was Theo that helped you like calm down in your toughest moments to keep pushing through. So yeah, you needed some external force to help you understand like that's what you want, to help you out in achieving your goal, like to understand it, because you don't yourself don't know that you want to, that you can do this, but somebody else can help you do this. And the second thing, like if to achieve this goal, like the protagonist like takes action, like they have to take action to understand it fully, like nobody else can tell it to them directly, like in Celeste, like Madeline, um, Madeline goes to like Madeline. I don't know if that's the correct name. Like the other version of Madeline that is depressed and keeps putting her down. So yeah, she goes and talks to her like and help her instead of escaping from her. So that's an action that she took to achieve the goal of the story. And another thing was like the chapter with the hotel with Mr. Oshiro, where I did not really understand what the meaning of Mr. Oshiro Hotel was, and I looked it up and on Reddit, and I found out like it meant that that like Mr. Oshiro represented what will happen to Madeline if she does not achieve her goal, and she does not overcome depression and stress and anxiety. So yeah, so that's what I learned from Celeste. Like uh, other characters can help you push towards that goal, and you have to, in the end, take action to achieve the goal. Like nobody else could tell you that. Nobody else could tell you your goal. Like you won't achieve the goal unless you yourself do something. And they talk about this in the story structure in this article, and I did not realize this, like understand this fully until I like dissectified. I don't know what that word for, what is the word, but until I analyzed Celeste's story. But yeah, and just as I was preparing for this video, I realized like what is the last point that I was missing, and here on the Lost Relic Discord game, Lost Relic Games Discord. The people over there like help me a lot. Like they give me a lot of feedback and resources. And yeah, so one of the things that they were mentioned, the key elements for the story are who is my protagonist and what is the object of desire. So I pretty much have both of these. They still need to be ironed out. But what I'm missing is the conflict. Like the conflict, it's I feel like what pushes the story forward, like what makes it interesting. And I really doubt I have conflict over here. Like the only conflict over here is that the land is dying and is the one that is contradicting with you. But it's not exactly the best conflict out there. Like I can definitely come up with something better. But yeah, this is what I got. I'm actually quite happy that I talked about this. Making videos like this is really relieving. Yeah, sorry about the shirt. I wasn't wearing a shirt. It's pretty hot in here, and I really had to take it off. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you did listen, and this one took 14 minutes. I really should practice on making these shorter. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it to here, and have a nice day, gentlemen.